So there are stories that are in the Bible that are justifying the fact that there may have been two creations. He is now, of course, justifying his humanity by putting all kinds of information out that has nothing to do with science. It has more to do with his pseudoscience that he is trying to fit into a puzzle that he has created based upon his sciences of anthropology and archaeology. So there are certain things that he is now saying that doesn't seem to make sense. For instance, in dealing with his marked inferiority complex of what it is that he's now found out about his genetics. Of course, studying the human genetics now has made it even more difficult for him to justify his existence. Of course, you know that the rape and the digging up of Africa, the desecration of tombs of our ancestors, and the breaking up of tribes, and the destruction, the complete and wanton destruction of historical information as well as historical monuments and so forth, would mean nothing to him at this point because of what I have come to understand as the empathetic disconnect that the Neanderthal has for the true man being, because basically there are no genetics linking him to the true man. And so therefore we now have to deal with his abandonment issues, or at least his amnesiac issues of not knowing where he originates from. So as I'm saying in the new upcoming Hidden Colors, that the deeper the white anthropologist digs the earth and in Africa and all places where indigenous peoples live, the blacker the planet becomes. Everywhere he goes for any evidence of his existence, he keeps digging up black artifacts, black remnants of the fact that this was a black planet. Now he has taken his own archaeology or archaeological tenets and archaeological practice, began digging into the DNA, into the tombs, or into the parts of the human body that have within it buried certain scientific evidence as to who the true humanity was on this planet. And now that he has dug and found no connection to who he said were the original peoples in Africa, his entire science said that all life began in Africa. That being the case, how come there are no pieces of evidence in his own genetics to connect him to the sub-Saharan peoples that he knows to be the original peoples of Africa? So what I have been saying for the longest is that the disconnect and the ability for him to keep his wanton savagery and disconnect from the feelings and from the sufferings of African people is because he no longer, or pretty much does not, or ever had any connections to the true man being, which is the true human being on this planet.
I mean, that definitely correlates to the information I've been studying too.